Hi, this is Jim of Melanson Web Design, and you're watching Pepper's Web TV.
Hi, I'm Joyce Bartholomew, and today in the studio my guest is Jim Melanson Web Design. And I'd like to introduce Jim today.
Hello, Joyce.
Hi. I'd like to ask about your image that comes up of Prometheus.
That's right. The first image that someone sees when they visit my website is of Prometheus, who was a Greek titan. And Prometheus's claim to fame is that he brought fire from the gods down to the people below. And that is the same idea of bringing knowledge to the people down below. And that's what the internet is all about. It's about bringing knowledge freely to everybody who wants to find it.
And how did you start out?
I started out after I bought my computer just surfing the net and visiting different sites and seeing the different styles and different designs that were out there, and I became very interested in how people did this. And so I started looking at the sources for the pages, and I started looking at tutorials on how to create web pages, and I realized that this is something that's really easy that anybody who just applies himself can learn.
Right.
And that's what I did. I applied myself.
Right, that's wonderful. So you also started out with HTML. Can you describe that? HTML, what does that stand for?
HTML is Hypertext Markup Language, and that's what's used to create web pages on the web. And basically what it is, it's a page of information, and you take the information on the page and you mark it up to look the way you want it to look.
And now you're programming in Perl.
That's correct. I've studied the language of Perl all on my own, and now I'm creating programs that are used with a Common Gateway Interface, or CGI interface, on web pages. And these are things like guest books, forms, mail-in forms, anything that you can think of.
And what does CGI stand for?
Common Gateway Interface.
And that's the most popular language, is Perl, for CGI scripting for the web. Is
that's
that right?
correct. CGI is the protocol that allows the programs to interface with the web pages.
Right. You've also written a book. What's it called, and when's it coming out?
I've written a book called HTML for Beginners, and it's being edited right now, and hopefully that will be out by the early part of the spring.
He's self-publishing this book. So what does that exactly mean?
That means that I'm going to print it up, copy it, bind it, distribute it, push it, all on my own.
And how can they find out about this book?
Once it's ready for distribution, it'll be available on my website. You can read more information on it there and order it off the website. And I'm also going to place it in specialty software and computer stores.
Oh, great, great. And what is your main source of exposure?
My main source of exposure right now is CharityWare. That's my website where I distribute my scripts from. And I gain my exposure through search engines and link exchanges and banner exchanges.
Can I ask you, how much are your services? And by the way, he offers quality work for great prices, and he's very good at it, and he has no overhead, and he's self-employed, so you might want to consider this as a definite option.
Right. I have packages that I offer for web design itself, and they start at about $200 to $300 for basic, and it just works up from there depending on what a person wants, how much storage space they need on the server. And also scripting work is additional on top of that, and I charge $50 Canadian per hour for the scripting.
Which is a great price. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for joining us today, Jim Melanson Web Design.
Thank you.
And I'm Joyce Bartholomew signing off for Pepper's Web TV.